What if I told you that spending just 1 month in space could age your body's bones by years and leave you so weak you'd struggle to walk when you came home? This isn't a science fiction horror story. It's exactly what happens to real astronauts. And it all comes down to one invisible force we take for granted every second of our lives: gravity. On Earth, gravity is like your body's personal trainer. Every time you stand up, every step you take, every time you pick up your coffee cup, gravity is making your muscles and bones work. It keeps your legs strong, your spine supported, and your bones dense. But the second you leave Earth and float in microgravity, all that changes. In space, you don't need your muscles to hold you up. You don't need your bones to resist your own weight. You just drift. Sounds relaxing, right? Well, your body sees it as an excuse to take a vacation it really shouldn't. The change starts fast, much faster than most people realize. Within days, your muscles begin to shrink. Without the constant fight against gravity, they stop getting the signal to stay strong. The big postural muscles, the ones in your legs, lower back, and core, are hit first. Studies show astronauts can lose up to 20% of their muscle mass in just 2 weeks if they aren't exercising. 2 weeks! That's like going from fit and strong to out of shape in less time than it takes to binge watch a TV series. And muscle isn't the only thing disappearing. Your bones start thinning at a shocking rate. On Earth, even someone with severe osteoporosis might lose 1% of bone density in a year. In space, astronauts can lose that much every single month. Without gravity, the cells that break down bone become overactive, while the cells that build bone slow down. The result? A rapid loss of density that makes bones fragile and more likely to break. This bone loss isn't just a temporary side effect. It can take years for astronauts to fully recover bone density once they return to Earth, and some never get it all back. But microgravity doesn't just stop at muscles and bones. It starts messing with other systems too. Without gravity pulling fluids down toward your legs, everything shifts upward toward your chest and head. Astronauts often joke about their moon face, the puffy look they get in space photos. But the reality is more serious. That fluid shift increases pressure inside the skull, which can press on the back of the eyeballs and cause vision changes. In fact, a condition called spaceflight-associated neuroocular syndrome, or SANS, has left some astronauts with permanent vision problems.
The heart also gets lazy in space. On Earth, it works harder to pump blood upward against gravity. In microgravity, it doesn't have to, and the muscle can actually shrink. Coming back to Earth's gravity after months in space can leave astronauts dizzy or fainting because their cardiovascular system can't adjust fast enough. And then there's the nervous system, the immune system, and even sleep patterns. Without a natural day and night cycle, astronauts often have disrupted circadian rhythms, which means poor quality sleep and slower recovery from daily stress. Combine that with a weakening body, and long-term spaceflight becomes a serious challenge for human health. So, what's the fix? Astronauts on the International Space Station work out 2 hours a day, every day, using machines specially designed for zero gravity. There's a treadmill where they have to strap themselves down with bungee cords, a stationary bike without a seat, and a weightlifting machine that uses resistance instead of actual weights. They also take calcium and vitamin D supplements, and NASA is experimenting with medications that might slow bone loss. These countermeasures help, but they don't erase the problem. Even the fittest astronauts come home weaker than when they left. And here's where things get really interesting, and a little scary. NASA and other space agencies are planning missions to Mars that could take 3 years round trip. If an astronaut's body changes this much in just 30 days, what happens after 1,000 days? Could they even walk on Mars when they arrive? Could they survive the trip home? This is one of the biggest biological challenges in space exploration. Not the lack of air, not the cosmic radiation, but the fact that our bodies were built for Earth and struggle without it. It's a reminder that as much as we dream of becoming a spacefaring species, there's a huge gap between building rockets that can take us there and making sure our bodies can handle the journey. Because in the battle between the human body and space, the real fight starts the moment gravity disappears. So what do you think? If you had the chance to spend a month in space, knowing the toll it would take on your body, would you still go? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the science of space travel, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next video.